Hello everybody, welcome to the Eastern States Allis Chalmers Collectors. Man, that's a lot to say. Eastern States Allis Chalmers Collectors Association annual show at Williams Grove Historical Steam Engine Association in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. Hey everybody, welcome back for another video. What you have right next to me is an Allis Chalmers 620. The 620 is one of the largest garden tractors that Allis Chalmers made. They made one bigger than that, and that's called a 720. 720 is also would be the older or younger brother, I guess I would say, to the 620. Now, its older sibling is the 616. And I'm going to show you one of those in just a little bit because there is one of them here. The 620 was produced from 1973 to 1975. Yep, only 3 years. It's powered by a 19.5 horsepower Onan engine. And we just got this running on our farm. We had to do a little bit of work on the governor and idling just to kind of get it to idle smooth. And then my uncle had to do a patch job here on this rim. You can see a little bit right there, barely. The rim was rotted out a little bit. He did a nice job. I seen this tractor sitting around our farm and it just grabbed my attention right away. And what grabbed my attention is actually sitting right here. Those tires. Those tires are huge. Like, there's my forearm, okay? They're ginormous. These are actually called high flotation tires, meant to give you a nice smooth path when you're mowing the lawn so you don't dig any ruts into anything. You see it's suited with a, I think they call this category 0, 3-point hitch system. You got a PTO back there, and you got front hydraulics right there. You actually can work 2 hydraulics. This one is going to work the deck up and down, and that one, I don't know, maybe it works the one out front if you had a snow blower or something. They made these with several different tire configurations, and we're going to look at some when we look at some other ones. We're going to fire this up and drive around a little bit. Man, I hope it starts because the battery's a little weak in it. But I want to show you while we're here, I want to show you some of the other tractors that fit in this size. So I talk about this being the biggest size of Allis Chalmers garden tractors. So here we have a bunch. There's some B10s, maybe a B1 at the end, B12. These are like 10 horsepower, 12 horsepower Allis Chalmers garden tractors. Real nice ones, right? And then you can see we're starting to get a little bigger and a little bigger. So like this here, your pretty standard average size garden tractor. There's a 620. So what I really like about this is it gives you a good idea of the size comparison, not only in height, but also in a little length. Now this 620 is set up with the tractor tires back here. All right. And this one has been restored very nicely. You can see here on this sale price of $2,000. Was made in Wisconsin. You can see it has a 3-speed transmission right here. 1, 2, 3. But it's also on top of a hydrostatic transmission. And I'll show you that in a little bit. But yeah, this one is set off with the tractor tires. They make a turf tire and then they make the high flotation like we have. So this gentleman, Bradley, came out of Spring Grove to bring this here. I'm sure glad he did because that is one nice looking 620. Now, I mentioned a 616, or maybe if I didn't, I'm mentioning it now. The 616 is the older brother to the 620. So this would have been what was made in like 1972. And then they went to the 620 in 73 to 75. And then there's a 720 from 75 to 1980. I don't know of any 720s here, so I can't show you any. Well, at least not yet, unless we find one. Hey, let's see if ours will fire up, and let's take it for a little spin around. The other thing that I really love about this are the flat top fenders. It just really has a look of like a 190X or like a 200. Here, I'll show you one of those. There's one right here. It just looks a lot like that. And I love that like little tractor, big tractor looking design with these fenders. All right, enough chit chat. Let's hope this starts. I've only ever driven this like 2 or 3 times, really. All right, so we're gonna give a little engine speed here. We're gonna give it a little choke right here and give it a little crank. Maybe a little less choke. Slow the engine speed down. Now, underneath me, if you can see right there, that's my gear shift for my 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna put it in 1 right now. All right, it was in 1. So now I'm in 1. And now I'm using the hydrostat. Raise the deck up. There we go. And now I'm using the hydrostat transmission to go. Right here. Now, because it's hydrostat, it's really easy to go in reverse. You just pull the hydrostat back the other way. And then there would be the neutral, I guess, position. It's kind of interesting. You got to grab both of these paddles. There are 2 paddles. And then this little one's what kind of locks it in place, because without that, that just would move freely. So anyway, we're now going to grab second. It helps if I'm in neutral. All right, now I'm in second gear, okay? So I'm going to go on the hydrostat. Again, I got the engine down low so you can hear us talk. But this is second forward. All right, and this is second reverse. Yeah, 3 reverse is kind of silly. I have no idea where you would ever have a situation where you would want to be in 3 reverse. All right. It does idle a little fast. We've been working on it. Anyway, we're going to try it, okay? Now I should be in 3. All right, so this is third gear. Again, I got the engine down, so you're not going to really see the speed yet. And then you want to go in reverse. Here's 3 reverse. Here's 3 reverse with some speed. You probably can't tell how fast I'm going. Why on earth would you ever need to go that fast in reverse is beyond me. But hey, you can do it if you want. Anyway, I'm going to put you guys on the hood here, and we're just going to take a nice little drive around looking at some tractors, all right? Look at some of these other tractors here, real nice ones. Like, let's look at this 185, right? Look at the way, you know, the steering wheel comes up, and then you kind of get this squared off front end, and you got the flat top fenders. Look here, squared off, steering wheel comes up, flat top fenders. The only thing this would need to really make it look right, or look like a big tractor, would be nice exhaust out the top. There's a story about that 8090. That is completely custom made. Allis Chalmers didn't actually make an 8090. Let's get a better look. is this frame has been stretched to accommodate a much larger engine. And there's a few other things about it, but I don't really remember it. Now, one thing I wanted to check on here was how much fuel we had. All right, so I helped bring these in. These are my friends. This is Kim Hagerman, her Allis G, and her IB. Her IB, that's a real nice one. Drives real nice, smooth. Here's a good one. This 160, right here. Doesn't that look a lot like what we're driving right now? Sure does. And then there's the king daddy of all, the D21. These are all owned by Tom Griffey. He helps a lot with the Allis Chalmers stuff. Here we got another IB and a G by Randy Pickett. I hope I don't appear too lazy to be driving around doing this. Here's a D15. And then, if you watch our channel, you should know this tractor. This is the oldest farm tractor that we own, a 1943B. If you ever watch me on the barrel train ride, I'm usually doing it on that 916 Deutz Allis. It's what my uncle said I could use. Actually, I was really drawn to that because it's unlike all the other Allis Chalmers, because it's green. An Allis Chalmers purist might say it's not real Allis Chalmers. Okay, now we got to figure out why we stalled. I'm gonna guess maybe we need a little fuel. So let's take a peek. You won't take a peek. Well, sorry about that. I guess maybe you will. If we blew through a bunch of fuel already, that's sad. No, definitely some fuel in there. I don't know what's going on. I guess we'll find out together, shall we? Engine speed up, a little choke. I don't know. We'll keep the RPMs up. That's definitely fuel. All right, we'll get some fuel and then we'll be back. Hopefully we make it. Well, maybe it's not fuel. All right, well, we'll keep on our tour. You can see a little bit down both sides. Another IB, a U, they're old. They're one of the oldest. A B, this B has weights on the side. They're kind of rare to see. These are nice little signs. I like them. D15, 185, 200, D19, WD45, Allis B, another Allis B, we already mentioned these a little bit. We'll go check out somewhere else. Check out this little hauler. That's pretty awesome. It says Haulin' Allis. Allis on there. What is it? Oh, it's GMC. So the feature this year is anything C. So this is where the feature stuff is. So we got CA, that one's for sale. We got a C there. This is not a C. Neither is that. There's a CA, probably an RC. Well, it's a WC, but maybe I'm wrong. Another CA. Another CA. Another CA. Maybe C on this one. Yep. Another CA. This is an old one. And probably a WC, I think. I don't 100% know. And there was no sign on it there. Another CA. There's a D something, 17 diesel. They had that thing all shined up. Some other equipment. They're doing a tractor pull later tonight. I could have brought my John Deere to do that, but I didn't quite feel like it. Here's a carousel house they're restoring. Got painted roof, new windows. They got the ramp up to it. They're going to be working on the railings around the side and the flooring next. I know they got electric run to it. Hey, I better watch what I'm doing. My uncle will watch this. I don't want him to see. So out here we got some field demos happening. I'm getting low on my camera card, so hopefully we'll get to go see that. We'll go check in with my buddy Kim. There's one of my fans right there. Nice guy. If you're watching, comment. They got vendors set up inside there. The Allis Chalmers memorabilia. So anyway, there's a little snapshot of the Allis Chalmers 620 feature. And I guess we'll include its older brother, the 616. I hope you enjoyed learning about this little tractor, or should I say little big tractor, or big little tractor maybe. Nice little snapshot of them right there. Let me know in the comments if you've ever seen one, driven one, owned one. I'd love to hear from you. See ya.